Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Rosetta Reviews, the web series where I will pontificate the pieces of pop culture that painted my pubescence. And for my first episode, I would like to cover a film that I feel is criminally underrated and horribly under-reviewed, and that would be 1985's Runaway Train. In this film, which features Jon Voight's best performance of his career in my opinion, you see two men escape from an Alaskan prison, get on a train, the engineer dies, and the train then is a runaway train. The computer control system from the 80s can't stop it, and there is no way for the people on board to reach the front of the train. Eventually they find Rebecca De Mornay, who is the only employee of the railway company still on the train, and she informs them they have to get to the very front engine in order to shut down the train. That is the one that controls everything. However, the front engine is an old one and doesn't have the proper walkways that the other ones do, so it's not an easy way to get there. So the train is a metaphorical prison for the men. This is the common takeaway, and it perfectly makes sense. Now, where I would differ from the standard review of this film is I don't think it's just a popcorn movie. I don't think that there is nothing to it except for simple action and boom, blast, pow. This is the type of film that personally I feel is a cut above your standard action film, and for one specific reason. It not only tells a great action story that you don't have to look close to enjoy, but it also has some very underlying artsy moments in there, some nuance, some subtle hidden undertones stuck in there. The number one takeaway from this story, if you look close, it isn't a story of man versus nature. It's not a story of man versus machine. It's a story of two psychopaths at war with each other. One who uses sheer force of will, and the other one who uses the system and all the money and power that entails. And at the end of the day, force of will actually wins, barely. At the beginning of the film, when Manny is still welded into a solitary confinement cell and the courts force Ranken to let him out, Ranken has a few things to say to the press, including Manny's an animal, and he's popular with all of the other prisoners because most of those prisoners are also animals. They're not men.
Well, if, as you say, he is an animal, then why do all the other prisoners love him so much?
Because they're mostly animals, just like he is.
Now that hot take of his is referenced a few times later in the film. When Rebecca De Mornay yells at Jon Voight,
"You're an animal."
No! Worse! Human! Human!
But the moment that this is the most evident in the film is near the end, when Jon Voight sends Eric Roberts out to the engine, despite there not being a safe way to get there, to shut the thing down. And Eric Roberts is trying, and he slips and falls and almost dies. And after that, he loses his nerve and goes back and comes into the door, and Manny just starts beating the crap out of him, kicking him while he's on the ground, and the two end up squared off, ready to fight each other. Despite the fact that Eric Roberts is hero-worshipped Manny through this entire thing, he's ready to kill him now, and he's telling him as much.
I'll kill you, Manny. I'll kill you. You die, sucker. You die. I'll kill you, man. Don't make me kill you. I'll kill you.
At some point, Manny just kind of catches a bit of humanity, sees himself outside of himself and realizes what he's doing, drops his knife and stops. The look on his face shows that he's realized that he's not acting a human, and despite his mad dog persona through this entire film, in that one glimpse, we see his humanity. He found it there for a second. He realized what he did was wrong. After this, we see Ranken coming in with the helicopter to get on that train. He too has an underling. His underling is hanging off of a ladder with the intention of getting onto a train. But his underling crashes and dies. Just like Eric Roberts almost did. So now Manny and Ranken have both tried to send their underlings to take control of the train, but neither one has achieved that. So they both go themselves now. Ranken using technology and the force of the government, and Manny using force of will. They both meet in the front, and Manny manages to somehow come out on top. Notice Ranken's reaction when he's handcuffed to the train. He acts like an animal for a split second. When he's treated the same way that he's treated these prisoners for so long, he acts like an animal for a second. when he's told that he has no hope of survival. He gets puff-chested, but it's obvious that he's not ready for this.
You're as afraid to die as anybody else. And I never let you free. You hear me?
I am free, Ranken. I am free.
You think you won? I know how to die too!
And so at the end of the film, you have the two psychopaths that one barely beat the other. One found a touch more humanity, so he's a touch more likable. But neither one's a good character, and neither one's something you'd want to see somebody in your family emulate. To me, this is a lot more than a popcorn movie. To me, this is so much more than just a simple, oh, well, check out this train. To me, there's so much more going on here. And like I said earlier, to me, that separates the good action films from the amazing action films. Do I get rewarded if I do more than just eat popcorn and go ho 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 the whole time? If I want to bring out my inner Frenchman and go ho 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 and look for some art, will I find it?
You know, you're worse than Ranken when the truth comes out. At least he's up front with his bullshit. You was a hero.
If an action film can entertain people who don't care to look close and can reward you for looking close at the same time, there's your yin-yang, just like your Manny and your Ranken.
You think you're a hero, huh? Shit. You're scum.
We're both scum, brother.
If you've made it this far, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time to listen. And if you liked the video, I'd love to see you like it and subscribe. And if you hated the video, you can go ahead and dislike it and tell me why I'm a big stupid head in the comment section down below. Either way is acceptable. Thank you very much.